Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Red Mug Music. Today, we're going to review the brand new single that Duran Duran just put out called More Joy. And it looks like they had the backing vocal of a Japanese band called Chai. So, what I want to talk about is like what I heard, what Chai brought to the song, and if I think this is a good song or not. So, let's do it. So before we go on, if you're new to the channel or if you just haven't done it yet, it's so helpful if you could subscribe and ring the bell, which will give you notifications every time a new video drops. That's just extremely helpful to me. I would really appreciate that. But also, just while I'm talking about it, I'm also on Twitter at Red Mug Music, and I'm also on Instagram at Red Mug Music, and haven't been extremely active because of the move from Atlanta to Central Florida, but I'm back now, and this is my first video back, and we're not really fully unpacked, and I'm kind of in a small space right here, and I'll eventually get it figured out. But let's talk about Duran Duran. Now, I put a poll on Duran Duran, and I'm going to pull it up right now, and what the poll was asking, it said, what do you think about Duran Duran's new track, More Joy, featuring Chai? And had quite a few people vote, with 9% of the votes, that's the lowest, said that it was bad. 9%. 31% said it's okay. And the majority, 60%, said it's great. So 60%, the majority of you that are watching this think this song is great. So let's talk about it, and let's try to figure out why it's so great. Or maybe we can figure out why some of you didn't like it. Actually, let's just read the comments here. I got a bunch of comments. Janet Skelton, she said, I absolutely love it. It transports me back to the dance music of the early 80s, but with a twist. That's pretty cool. She says it's fresh, and now the album makes sense. So I assume what she's saying is since Duran Duran keeps throwing us back into the past, maybe that's what future past is. In the future, we're going to celebrate the past. That could be it. Very good comment, Jenna. I appreciate that. Had a listener or a watcher named PT said, love it. Why do people on media platforms keep mooning about no guitar riffs? Duran has always done varied music and experimented, which is actually very true. I think that's based on, I have another, Matt said, I just listened to it. I really need to hear more electric guitar. So probably based on that. Here's another one saying it's a grower. So it's going to take some time to enjoy that one. I have never been better. I love it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to future past. I absolutely love it, Dean Thomas says. It's good stuff. So, I think people are really excited after hearing More Joy. And once I'm done talking about it, I'll tell you what I think. So again, we'll go ahead and we'll talk about this song. I'm going completely from notes because I just haven't had a lot of time to do a lot of research and stuff like that, and I just don't want to forget anything, so please forgive me. No one's ever complained that I read from notes, but So More Joy is the 11th track, so it's going to be next to the last song on the entire album, which I thought was interesting. So now we know what the first song is with Invisible, and almost the last song with More Joy. Now, this particular song derived from a jam session that Duran Duran was being a part of. And the beginning, I thought it had this like 80s keyboard dance, like house style with like a hint of disco. But come to find out, Nick Rhodes thought that this sounded like a Japanese video game. And I think that's what instigated, it was actually Simon to ask Chai, I hope I'm saying it right. If I'm not, tell me about down below how to say it. That's when he decided he was going to invite them or ask them if they wanted to sing on the album. And they, of course, did because they're there. So I think that's what it is. And when he says it sounds like a Japanese video game, it makes complete sense. You know, it's that old keyboard we had back in the 80s, just completely bassless. And When I first heard it, I'll be honest and I'll just say I didn't like it. I was like, oh, I just don't like this quality. I don't like this kind of sound. It's not really my favorite. But when the full music and the bass and everything comes in, it changes. So I'm like, okay. And when the music does come in, after Simon Le Bon sings, and I'll talk about that in a second. And when the entire band comes in, you got the bass, which I'm not sure what kind of bass is being played here. Again, I haven't had the chance to research this. It sounds like a synth bass, so it's like I don't hear John at all. Does he even play on this song? Because the bass part could it just be Nick Rhodes? And to be fair, for some reason, when I heard Invisible for the first time, I couldn't pick out the bass either, which is absolutely dumb because you go back, you hear this. I mean, I heard the bass in the chorus, but I just did not pick it out otherwise. And now I go back and I can hear it plain as day. So am I missing the bass? I don't know. But it gives it a lot more impact when that bass and everything comes in, just from that very thin, keyboard sound at the very beginning. And after Simon Le Bon sings, and it gives it a lot more impact. So I do like that. I feel like, as well as all of you, that we've already heard a live version by Duran Duran. Simon Le Bon is singing with a little bit of a different style, a little bit of vibrato in there, and Holli notes a whole lot longer. I feel like I don't know if that's his choice or if that's the direction he's been put in. If I haven't heard Invisible by now, I would think maybe this was just an age thing, that he's just aging, and that's his strong point now. That's a way he can sing. But it's probably just a preference, he probably just likes the way it sounds, or is being directed to do that. And, Duran Duran has always been very experimental, so why not? I don't hate it. I'm not used to it, so it's hard to say, ooh, I just love it. But I know I will, but I'm not there yet. But it's definitely different. And the drums, I think, actually sound very good, especially in the chorus. I think Roger, what's wrong with me, did a really fantastic job, a very good drum in the chorus. And you also hear Chai, they're singing, the More Joy also in the chorus, which is pretty cool. It's okay. And there's a little bit of a guitar solo, very small amount of Graham Coxon from Blur. So it's not a lot, but it's probably just enough. And, it's got some effects and cool stuff. So, I think it adds just enough. I'm okay with that. And the keyboards are fantastic. It's my favorite part of the whole song. Again, just like Invisible, this may be a really good Nick Rhodes album, because Invisible and I forgot the name of the song. Oh, All of You and Now More Joy, I feel like have all been very strong Nick Rhodes songs. So I think maybe that's what we're going to be looking at on this album. This is going to be a Nick Rhodes album. Yeah, so I'm definitely excited about what we're going to hear from the rest of the songs from Nick Rhodes. I think it's going to be a really good Nick Rhodes album. Now let's talk about Chai. Let's talk about what they bring to this particular song. Now, again, like I said, I guess it just had the sound and the feel of Japanese video games, and it just made them go into the direction of the Japanese sound. So that's why they got Chai to sing background. And as you can tell, what's happening is they're doing a lot of just chatter throughout the song, and they're just, very anthemically just, screaming more joy. And I think what it's supposed to do is just, for one, add to that theming, and for two, just make it sound fun. And I think that definitely worked. At first, I didn't care. Actually, I wrote here, don't know what they're bringing to the song except distraction from the basic sound of the track. And later on, I got to thinking that really wasn't fair, because it sounds to me as though they knew early on that they wanted them to be, Duran Duran wanted Chai to be part of the song. So I don't think it's a distraction. I think it's just part of it. I think it was artistically done to enhance and push that message over to us, what kind of sound that they wanted. So it was just part of it, and I think it worked. When the song starts, again, like I said, it's got that thin, you know, cheap keyboard kind of sound, and then Simon comes in and he starts singing, and it's different than what you're used to, and then you hear, you know, Chai kind of doing their thing throughout the whole song, and they're screaming. So and the chorus is not so melodic as I really like for it to be, but that's just not the type of song this is. This is not that kind of song. It's more of a dance song. It's fun. It's enjoyable. Duran Duran's having a good time recording this type of stuff, and I commend them for it. I think it's really great that they're doing this sort of thing rather than doing what they think we need to hear. They're just having fun, and I think that means a lot. So I think that really covers everything that I wanted to talk about. Except I just found that we know what all the songs are. We know the track list, and here they are. Number 1's going to be Invisible. Number 2, All of You. We've heard that one already. It's not been released, but they sing it live. Number 3 is called Give It All Up. Now this one's featuring Tova Lo. A lot of people say Tove Lo. It's Tova Lo. She actually, I'm going to look her up, is somebody that I have previously listened to, but she definitely has a very adult slant to her music. It's very, very adult. So don't listen to Tova Lo with other people in the room if you don't want them to hear extreme adult nature music. But if you I think it's Habits, Stay High. That was on her very first album that came out. Let's see when that came out, in 2014. And I thought it was really good. It's very dancey. I like Tova Lo. I think she has a lot of really good stuff out there. So I was excited to see that she's going to be on this album. Then you have song number 4 called Anniversary. Song number 5, it's going to be the title song, Future Past. Title number 7, Tonight United. Number 8, Wing. Makes me think of Paul McCartney, Wings. Number 9, Nothing Less. Number 10, Hammerhead, which is featuring Ivorian Doll. No clue who that is. Again, I haven't had the chance, please forgive me, to do a whole lot of research. I just wanted to get a video out and talk about my thoughts about this. I don't know who these people are yet. Number 11 is going to be More Joy, as we now know, with Chai. And the number 12 is going to be Falling with Mike Garson. Actually, I'm just curious who Mike Garson is. Let's look up Mike Garson. Oh, very cool. I just looked up Mike Garson. He's bald like me. He was born in 1945, so that's going to make him, 76? July. So he's 76 years old. He's an American pianist who has worked with David Bowie, Nine Inch Nails, St. Vincent, Free Flight, and the Smashing Pumpkins. Okay, I am now excited about Mike Garson. Nice. Well, while we're at it, let's look up Ivorian Doll. Okay, Ivorian Doll, born in 1997, so not very old at all. Her name is actually Vanessa Mahi, Mahi, but she's professionally known as Ivorian Doll. She's German-born English rapper and internet personality of Ivorian descent. So we may have some rapping from Ivorian Doll. Maybe that's what's going to go on, and that's going to be on Hammerhead, and then Tova Lo. So that's who's going to be on this album. Very cool. Anyway, so that's it. That's the album listing and my thoughts on the new song More Joy featuring Chai. I still can't wait until the album drops. I am so excited. I think it's going to be very good. To summarize what I think about the song, I like it. I like it a lot, actually. I think it's fun. I think it's got a very good sound, especially by the end of the song. And I like the way Simon Le Bon does a lot of his O's, while Chai is doing their chanting of the title. I think it's a good song. I think it could be seen as a bad song, but I think you got to listen to these things over and over and over again. Put those earbuds or headphones in and just listen to it and listen to it and listen to it and just learn to like it. Don't just listen to it passively. Listen to all the different parts and understand it and know what you're listening to and why it's there. And I think when you listen to music that way, it's so much better and so much fulfilling, and it brings you so much joy, brings you more joy. So anyway, that's my thoughts about this song. Comment down below. Tell me if you liked it and what you thought about it. And just add whatever you can to my thoughts here. I would really appreciate that. But again, that's it for me today. Appreciate everybody joining me. Don't forget Instagram at Red Mug Music, Twitter at Red Mug Music. And I got my merch shop if you want to check that out. And that's it. All right. I'll see you guys next week.